Are you sure? Are you ready?
I'm ready, sort of.
You
Kind
ready?
of.
Okay, I'm ready then.
Okay, I'm ready.
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 And howdy, everybody. Howdy, Lynn.
Hi.
Welcome to the Word, Praise, and Wisdom number 13, where we read Scripture and other extra biblical books that align with Scripture. And you can do that at the kingjamesbibleonline.org or at blueletterbible.org, multiple translations, along with esword.net, which has multiple translations. Today we're going through Proverbs 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell thingy. That means we will only have one to read this coming Sabbath, this coming weekend, live. And then we're going to discuss all you people that want to read Jasher live. All of you.
You know you want to.
You know you want to. You know you want to belong. Come on, jump off the bridge with us.
It's really fun, guys.
If all your friends read Jasher, would you read Jasher too? Yes, actually. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and pray in. Father, thank you very much for bringing us together to fellowship and revel in the words of wisdom and knowledge that you have given us. And we just ask that you give your blessing to everybody here now and in the future, that they get the message that you need us to have, and that we reflect well upon you. For those that are suffering chronic illness, we would ask that you would restore them and heal them in a manner that only you get the glory. And we thank you for that. We love you. In Jesus Yeshua's name, amen. Alrighty. Let's see. How did we do that before? We had this thing. And then we click that. We click this. Click that. And we're off. Proverb 26. As snow in summer and as rain in harvest, so honor is not seemly for a fool. As the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass, and a rod for the fool's back. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. He that sendeth a message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet and drinketh damage. The legs of the lame are not equal. So is a parable in the mouth of fools. As he that bindeth a stone in a sling, so is he that giveth honor to a fool. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. The great God that formed all things both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth transgressors. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him. The slothful man saith, there is a lion in the way, a lion is in the streets. As the door turneth upon his hinges, so doth the slothful upon his bed. The slothful hideth his hand in his bosom, it grieveth him to bring it again to his mouth. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. He that passeth by and meddleth with strife, belonging not to him, is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. A madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death, so is the man that deceiveth his neighbor, and saith, am not I in sport? Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. As coals are to burning coals, and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin.
Proverbs 27. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, and not thine own lips. A stone is heavy, and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel, and anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. The full soul loatheth an honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. As a bird that wandered from her nest, so is a man that wandered from his place. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, so doth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not, neither go into thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity. For better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. My son, be wise and make a heart glad, that I may answer him that reproacheth me. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Take his garment that is surety for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. He that blesseth his friend with a loud voice rising early in the morning, it shall be counted a curse to him. A continual dropping in a very rainy day, and a contentious woman are alike. Whosoever hideth her hideth the wind, and the ointment of his right hand, which bewrayeth itself. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Whoso keepeth the fig tree shall eat the fruit. Whoso keepeth the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof, so that he that waiteth on his master shall be honored. As in water, face answers to face, so the heart of a man to man. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of a man are never satisfied. As for the fining pot for silver, and the furnace for gold, so is a man to his praise. Though thou shouldest bray a fool in mortar among wheat with a pestle, yet will not his foolishness depart from him. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. For riches are not forever, and doth the crown endure to every generation? The hay appeareth, and the tender grass showeth itself, and the herbs of the mountain are gathered. The lambs are for thy clothing, and the goats are for the price of the field. And thou shalt have goat's milk enough for thy food, and the food of thy household, and for the maintenance for thy maidens.
Proverb 28. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. For the transgression of a land many are the princes thereof, but by a man of understanding and knowledge of the state thereof shall be prolonged. A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaveth no food. They that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. Better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of riotous men shameth his father. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. Whoso causeth the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit. But the upright shall have good things in possession. The rich man is wise in his own conceit, but the poor that hath understanding searcheth him out. When righteous men do rejoice, there is great glory. But when the wicked rise, a man is hidden. He that covereth his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy. Happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief. As a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. The prince that wanteth understanding is also a great oppressor, but he that hateth covetousness shall prolong his days. A man that doeth violence to the blood of any person shall flee to the pit. Let no man stay him. Whoso walketh uprightly shall be saved, but he that is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. He that tilleth his land shall have plenty of bread, but he that followeth after vain persons shall have poverty enough. A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. To have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread that man will transgress. He that hasteth to be rich hath an evil eye, and considereth not that poverty shall come upon him. He that rebuketh a man afterwards shall find more favor than he that flattereth with the tongue. Whoso robbeth his father or his mother, and saith, It is no transgression, the same is the companion of a destroyer. He that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in the Lord shall be made fat. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely shall be delivered. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase.
Chapter 29. He that being often reproved harden his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Whoso loveth wisdom rejoices his father, but he that keepeth company with harlots spendeth his substance. The king by judgment established the land, but he that receiveth gifts overthroweth it. A man that flattereth his neighbor spreadeth a net for his feet. In the transgression of an evil man there is a snare, but the righteous doth sing and rejoice. The righteous consider the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. Scornful men bring a city into a snare, but the wise men turn away wrath. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. The poor and the deceitful man meet together. The Lord lighteneth both their eyes. The king that faithfully judgeth the poor, his throne shall be established forever. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yea, he shall give delight unto thy soul. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understand, he will not answer. Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope of a fool than of him. He that delicately bringeth up his servant from a child shall have him become his son at the length. An angry man stirreth up strife, and a right furious man aboundeth in transgression. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble spirit. Whoso is partner with the thief hateth his own soul. He heareth cursing and bewrayeth it not. The fear of a man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. Many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment cometh from the Lord. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way of abomination to the wicked is abomination to the wicked.
Proverb 30. The words of Agur, the son of Jakeh, even the prophecy, the man that spake unto Ithiel, even unto Ithiel and Ukal. Surely I am more brutish than any man, and have not the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom nor have the knowledge of the holy. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fists? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? Every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. Two things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. Lest I be full and deny thee, and say, Who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal, and take the name of my God in vain. Accuse not a servant unto his master, lest he curse thee, and thou be found guilty. There is a generation that curseth their father, and doth not bless their mother. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There's a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. The horse leech hath two daughters, crying, Give, give. There are three things that are never satisfied, yea, four things say not, It is enough. The grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that saith, It is not enough. The eye that mocketh at his father and despiseth to obey his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. There be three things which are too wonderful for me, yea, four which I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. For three things the earth is disquieted, and for four which it cannot bear. A servant when he reigneth, and a fool when he is filled with meat. For an odious woman when she is married, and an handmaid that is heir to her mistress. There be four things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. The conies are but a feeble folk, yet make they their houses in the rocks. The locusts have no king, yet go they forth all of them by bands. The spider taketh hold with her hands, and is in kings' palaces. There be three things which go well, yea, four are comely in going. A lion which is strongest among beasts, and turneth not away for any. A greyhound, and he-goat also, and a king against whom there is no rising up. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, or if thou hast thought evil, lay thine hand upon thy mouth. Surely the churning of milk bringeth forth butter, and the wringing of the nose bringeth forth blood. So the forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife. Well, okay. There's a lot of gems in this one.
Yeah.
That let's see. Let's go to 26. And of course, we start off talking about doing this analogy of what it's like for honor or wisdom to be given to a fool, or to come from a fool. And that goes on for actually quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting things that really pique your interest, especially if you're in an agricultural lifestyle, or some of the things like verse 8, right? Tying a stone to a sling, that's like giving honor to a fool. It doesn't serve its doesn't serve its purpose. It doesn't work as it's supposed to. Verse 11 is quoted by Peter,
Yes.
right? And that is, let's see. Peter 2:22. Let's start in 21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than, after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. But it is happened unto them according to the true proverb. The dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the sow that was washed to her wallowing in the mire. Yep. And I don't know about anybody else, but I definitely turned back to the mire and vomit.
Yes.
Which makes me wonder, was I actually at that point in his graces, or was he still calling me? Anyways. Okay.
Good question.
Let's see, that was 11. 12 is kind of mind-blowing. Right? If you see someone that's basically claiming, see how smart I am?
Mm-hmm.
See how smart I am? There is more hope of a fool than him, that person that's talking about how smart they are. Yeah, just amazing. Here we have the mouth, the hand hiding in the bosom again.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so it grieveth him to bring it again to his mouth.
Yeah. It's so much labor feeding myself. And it's kind of funny because there's that. Remember how they used to put in like movies and television back in the 50s, 60s, the Roman laying back on their couch and some servant feeding them grapes. I don't know how that came to be considered glamorous, but okay.
Right, and they got somebody with the fan. And
yeah. And 17, I've looked for this and I guess I wasn't wording it correctly. Right? But someone, if you're going by and you interfere in some sort of calamity that's going on, it's like grabbing a dog by the ears. And it's not talking about a nice dog. Because the thing is, how do I let go of the dog without getting bit? It's the same way when you butt into a situation that you don't have any idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. So
I have a question on verse 19.
Okay.
What do you mean? Am not I in sport?
Right.
Oh, is he like saying, am I just like kidding? Or what is
That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
Right. So it's like lying to your neighbor to play a trick on him. Or I'm just teasing. Or when people, also I can see it as when people say something that offends someone else, and then when they get called on it, they just say, "Oh, I'm just kidding. Why are you so upset?" Yep.
Well,
And then,
no,
yeah,
you said it. You did it.
right. So 20, we got the gossiper, someone that's just talking about other people.
Mm-hmm.
You remove the talebearer. All right, let's check that word, talebearer. If you remove the talebearer, that's Hebrew 5372, and you're gone. You're gone. That from an unused root meaning roll or slanderer. A slanderer.
Whisperer.
When they get gone, strife ceaseth. No more contention or strife. But then this next one, right? A contentious man kindles strife. Let's see exactly what contentious is in this. Hebrew 4079, right? A variation, midyan, of 4066, which is contest, quarrel. That in its own is from Hebrew 1777. Strive, like lawsuit people. The people that are always, well, I don't know that that's true. Yep. The words of the slanderer, right? Talebearer, are as wounds, they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Okay. What else do we have? Anything else that jumped out with you on this to the end?
Yes, 23 to 28.
Okay.
It's like the whole thing, that whole
Right.
passage. Wow. So, 27, there we go. You dig in a pit, you're going to fall it in.
Yep.
You're
If
going
you're
to try to drop
alone.
that stone on me from way up there, but look, it's going to roll back on you.
Yep.
In other words, basically.
I can remember us doing that as children. Let's roll this big giant rock up this hill. Oh, uh-oh. Okay. Let's go to 27. Now, boast not thyself of tomorrow, right? Don't brag about what's going to happen tomorrow because you don't know what today is going to bring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You might not be here tomorrow.
That's right. And these are all these are real good. The ones that jumped out at me as, don't praise yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of goes along with the, I'm so smart. Let's see. And, jump in whenever you.
Well, 9, I thought that was pretty good. And,
Okay.
You can cheer your friends up.
Right. And that, what makes me wonder what they had for ointment and perfume then. Because it must have been much more natural.
That refers to the oils.
Right. Well, it makes
Throughout the whole Bible, if they use ointment and perfume, they're referring to oils.
Right. In that, now, and maybe they did back then too, but what they call synthetic perfumes, where they come up with fake scents.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think White Diamonds is a synthetic perfume.
It is.
For men, like Drakkar.
Yeah.
Remember
Drakkar Noir.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny about that? Most of them use myrrh as a fixative.
Oh, do they?
Yes, because the chemicals are just going to fly away if they don't have something to nail it down with. And the myrrh is super heavy and resinous.
Mm-hmm. That is interesting.
Yeah, I still have my Shalimar, the really expensive 1 ounce of perfume.
I remember
Mm-hmm.
Shalimar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was my favorite.
Yep. 10 is very, very big, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not only don't forsake your own friend, but also your father's friends, right? And if you're having a big ton of problems, don't bring it into your brother's house.
Yeah.
It's better to seek out your neighbor's help than to go drag other people into it. And I think everybody has those in their family, right? The drama queen, or the one that's always like, everybody needs to come help me because of the situation I got myself into.
Yeah.
You didn't help me when that person that I loaned my minivan to got stolen, so I'm cutting you off. Okay. The prudent man sees evil that's coming
Mm-hmm.
and and prepares. But the simple say, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll give you a
Yep.
prime example right now. You got farmers telling you that what used to cost them $2,000 a month is now costing them $8,000 or $10,000 a month. And they said, we're not going to see these prices until September. You better prepare people now while you can afford stuff. Right now. Right now.
Yeah. Right now, it's your last second.
Here we got the contentious woman again.
Yeah.
Continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are like. Is that like dripping?
It's waterboarding.
What is dropping? 1812? Ah, it is dripping. Okay.
It's dripping. Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Chinese marital torture. I mean, water torture. Yep. Here's what everybody says, except they always paraphrase it, right?
Yes.
They always say, it is for a brother or a fellow believer to sharpen a fellow believer. That's not what it says here. It says a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So 19 is interesting.
Right?
What do you mean, as in water, face enters to face? Is that just talking about the reflection?
I think so. That as in water, well, because answereth is added. So
Right.
as in water face to face, right? As you're looking at your reflection in the water, that is how the heart of man to man is. That's why we seek out birds of a feather, right?
Right. We
Or
seek those that mirror us. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And sometimes when we find one that mirrors some of our not so great qualities, then we have a little, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I remember, and I think I've talked about it here before, going to a party one time, and people I knew were already there. And they called me. They're all, John, come meet this guy. He's exactly like you. And then I meet the guy, and they say, see, this is the guy, John, we were talking about. And just looking at each other, and both of us went, he's nothing like me. And the thing is, they were seeing an aspect of our own personalities that we didn't like. or something. That guy's just like you. He's nothing like me. That guy's a jerk. Oh, dear. He's
Oh,
exactly like me. Okay, where were we? Oh, yeah, that's right.
that was 19.
The people reflecting my jerkiness. Now, this blew my mind, and I think it's repeated, right? Hell and destruction are never full.
Yeah, mine too.
And then, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. The eyes of man are covetous. Oh, man, look at all this great stuff I have already. I wish I had that. I'm going to get that instead. Anyways.
Okay, I'm going to get rid of all that stuff and then get that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there's too much stuff.
There is. And how often do we look at stuff that we just had to have, and it's like, why in the world did I want that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
It's always a good idea to keep your money in your pocket and wait. And if it's something I want, I just talk to Abba about it. Okay, I want this. Do I need it? What can I use this for? And a lot of times he'll make me wait for like a year or so. Okay, now you can get what you want. You can get that thing.
But what about 26 and 27? Right? And I'm going to take out the italics that they have. So the lambs for thy clothing, and the goats at the price of the field, and goat's milk enough for thy food, for the food of thy household, and the maintenance for thy maidens. Very interesting. Be content.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go to 28. 28! We see this all throughout.
All the time.
Yep. Well, that was part of the promises of the blessings. If you follow my ways, 1,000 will flee before one of you, and 10,000 before two of you.
Yeah, and then down there in verse 4.
Okay.
Well, did you have something before that?
I was looking at 2. Okay, the transgression of a land, many the princes thereof. So the leaders.
Mm-hmm.
But by a man of understanding, knowledge, the state shall be prolonged. Meaning, if you have an understanding, knowledgeable, whenever we're talking about knowledge, this is God's knowledge and wisdom, shall be prolonged. Okay. What'd you say? 4?
I said 4.
Okay.
So in other words, if you say the law isn't still in operation, you're just praising the people that don't follow the law. The lawless, they're wicked.
Mm-hmm.
And so the people like us that keep the law, we're contending with these people because we know better. We know what God told us in his word, how to live, and the things that are sin.
Right. Yep.
That's all.
Yep. And then here again, we have the righteous poor, or the upright poor, are better than the perverse wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of that in the media today. Well, if you look at alternative media, like all of us do. Trust the other stuff. Yep.
Yep. And then we have hearings about warning against usury.
Yep.
And 9 gets you again about the law.
Yeah.
Your prayer will be an abomination. Ooh, that's That's right.
And we read that, right? The angel's responsible for delivering prayers if a person is walking in disobedience. That doesn't make it to his ears. You don't even get a chance for it to be heard. It's once you completely change your outlook and your repentance, then things start happening. So
They do recall a man that was dying, and his prayers were extremely effective even after he passed.
Yep.
Jesus just heard him.
Okay. What else do we have here?
I didn't have anything until 19.
13.
19.
Well, 13. That he that covers his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesses and forsakes the sins shall have mercy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or as our Savior said, repent from sin. Okay, so where are we going here? Would you say 19?
Yes, 19.
Okay. That blew my mind. Now that I read it again. It's interesting because we have people that basically I'm seeing it, the whole half of that is like pop culture. Right? That, that he that makes haste to be rich, or no, not that. He that follows after vain or vanity shall have poverty enough. And, man, it seems to be very prevalent today, and I don't understand it. Just go to YouTube and click on, let me see what it's called. I can't think. They changed the name of it. It used to be trending. Now, it's called Explore. Explore. But you click on that, and it's just garbage. Right?
It is.
It's why are people even looking at that? Why would you care about 99% of that stuff? 99.9% of that stuff. Anyways.
Yeah, I never look at that. So
Avert your eyes. Okay.
nah.
Yeah. Okay. What else do you have after 19?
20. Oh.
Okay. That's worded interestingly. Faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that makes haste to be rich shall not be innocent.
Yeah, that seems like a lot of quick money is just through fraud and graft. And
yeah, it is. It's funny how much of those go hand in hand with each other. Try to get rich quick scheme with the lazy people and the foolish people. And slow down. Take your time. Yep. 23, paraphrased. Right? Don't surround yourself with yes men. Right? If someone corrects you, they're doing it out of love, most likely, unless they're just calling you a big fat stupid head or something.
Well, that's not correction.
Yeah. Let's see. I found that 24 interesting. If you rob your mother and father and say, no, it's not a sin, you're a companion of a destroyer. Isn't that Abaddon?
Well, it says a destroyer. That's the first thing I thought of was Abaddon.
Eesh.
What does it say?
Shakath. Yeah, The Greek is Abaddon, I think. Oops. All right.
Ish. Aish.
Ish.
Ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
Well, that's another thing. It's a compound word.
To decay, ruin.
Yep.
Mm.
He that is of a proud heart stirs up strife, but he that puts his trust in Yahweh shall be made fat. I can testify to that. All right.
So fat could mean a lot of things.
Yeah. 26, again, we have people that trust in their own heart. You're back to being a fool. All right. But then walketh wisely. Well, got to go back and look at all the Proverbs. How do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be delivered, who's delivering? It isn't me. And it's not the mega church preacher.
Sure not.
Yep. Okay, anything in these last few verses jumping at you?
Well, where's it that talks about if you know the Father or do you know the Son? I thought I marked it. But I don't find. No, I'm not finding it.
Did you find
maybe
it?
Not till 30.
Oh, see, there we go. Let's go to 29 then.
Okay, let's do 29 first.
Okay. That. Yep, one's harsh.
I picked verse 2.
Yeah, well, one is, if you have a bunch of people correcting you, rebuking you, and you stiffen your neck, you're going to be destroyed suddenly, and it'll be incurable without remedy. Okay, verse 2, what?
That's scary because it can't be fixed.
Right? Okay, so what? Verse 2
just got me. It just reminds me of what we're going through in this nation right now.
Right. Yeah, that is true.
And then verse 3 reminded me of certain somebody on the stage, basically the United States stage.
Yeah.
And I thought,
well, I know people personally that have done that inherited huge sums of money and blew it taking groups of friends to Las Vegas and stuff. Hey, the bar closed. Let's fly to Las Vegas and buy 10 people, right now tickets, which are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is they were trying to guilt me into loaning them money. And they were like, John, what about Vegas, man? I was like, I never went to Vegas. I was in the Navy, man. And this just took all the wind out of their sails, because they were basically trying to say, you owe me. Remember this?
Oh.
Yeah.
Indian giver. Sorry.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know what other word to use.
That's what we used to call it.
Yes, what we used to call it when we were politically incorrect as children.
Indian giver.
What do we call it now?
The federal government giver. Okay.
Somebody help me get out of this hole.
Right, yeah.
Oh.
Look at all, that's like the federal government. Look at all the jobs we created. Where are my taxes?
Right. Right. It's like the company store. Seriously.
Yeah.
And 8, 8 just goes along with 2, verse 2.
It does. No rest in a fool. No rest in trying to correct a fool. Let's see. Look at this one. Like you were saying a minute ago, that's our country right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our earthly country.
Yes.
Yep. Messianic prophecy right there. The king that faithfully judgeth the poor, his throne shall be established forever.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's see. Boy, this is right now too. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases. Transgression. But hang tight. Trust Yeshua. Trust Jesus, because that's where our righteousness is.
That's a fact. Not us, but him.
Yeah.
But I
All
guess
right,
we
well-
just have to have that patience so they can finish digging their hole and finish spreading their nets and
Right.
getting their rocks all set up on that cliff.
Here's your shovel.
Yep.
Okay. What else do you have in Psalm 20 or Proverb 29?
Well, I read it, so I kind of,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I'm just kind of looking again. So
Yep.
21 is interesting because that may not be your child, but if you have sort of a adopted a child into your house and they are your servant or whatever, and you raise them up, and yeah, and they become loyal, they become like your child.
They do.
They are your child. You did the work. You were the parent that loved them and raised them up.
Yep. Let's see. And then this, the fear of man brings a snare. But whoso puts his trust in the Lord shall be safe. And that's true. I mean, if you just think back on your own life, anytime where you got something that was a threat or an ominous warning from man and you gave into it, you created more issues than you would have had probably from the beginning. I'm not going into specifics there, but you know it's
Well,
true.
I'm just thinking about the one time in my own life, and my life was actually threatened.
Uh-huh.
I literally I felt my gut smell. I never felt that before. But so I just called the cops. It's like, you need to come over here.
Yeah. Well, that's what you should do.
Yeah, because, well, actually, I ran and hid in my bedroom. I didn't know what else to do. You know.
What can you do? Okay. So look at this. Unjust man, abomination to the just, and upright in the way, abomination to the wicked. The upright in the way, right? So those that are following Yah are an abomination to the wicked. But the wicked or the unjust man is an abomination to the just. You can't stand each other.
Nope.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to 30. Okay, what did you have?
Well,
Don't tell me you forgot already. Okay, what?
Ager. I mean, the first verse gets me. It's like, who are these people? Did we see anything about these people before, or are they just like? That's what I'm wondering.
Agar. It was one of the names of Solomon, according to
Okay.
to this in the Strongs. Agur, gathered or received, a fanciful name of Solomon. The son of Jakeh. Who's that? Another symbolic name for Solomon. Huh. Unto Ithiel. Who is this?
Yeah, who is that?
Now that is the name of an Israelite. It says also a symbolic person. To Ukal, which means devoured. Most interesting. Okay.
That is interesting.
Yep. Now, in this, the things that jump out at me every time I read this, though. This one, though, was the first time. And 4, that's only our Creator, right?
That's
Who
it.
has ascended up into heaven, or descended, or gathered wind in his fists, or has bound the waters in a garment, or established all the ends of the earth. Can you tell me his name and what his son's name?
What's his son's name?
I know. I love that. Yeah, I can. It's Yeshua, salvation.
It's wow.
Yep.
Yep, that was the one I was talking about. Ooh, his son's name.
Yeah. So then each one of these where it talks about, 3 things and 4, every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Don't add unto his words, lest he prove you and be found a liar. 2 things. Okay, this starts with 2, but then 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remove me far from vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. That kind of brought to mind teenagers. Right?
Eat whatever they see.
Standing in front of a full pantry. There's nothing to eat. Yeah, there is. It requires work. And I've noticed with teenagers, I didn't notice this with teenagers before I was a parent, though, that I've noticed with teenagers, there's an hierarchy of what's considered food. And that hierarchy is the ease by which it goes into your mouth and is consumed. So therefore, anything that can be like poured into your mouth or plastic opened up and shoved into your mouth, that's first. And then something that goes into the microwave is next. And then something that is stovetop is after that, but it's before something that would require preheating the oven. And,
yes. It's like, what's that?
Yeah. And then, oh my goodness, cooking from scratch.
Oh, come on. That video of that kid that didn't know how to use the can opener.
Yeah. Okay. What is this thing? Yep. Actually, someone the same age as our daughter, that when our daughter was learning to drive a manual, was on my pickup truck. And I hate automation if you don't need automation. Anyways.
Automatic windows.
Yep. This person got in the truck and was like, how do you get the window down? You see this handle? Look at this. Yep. And then what I thought was funny is apparently they kept rolling the window up and down like, woo, this is really neat. Whereas someone from our generation would get into a car with electric windows and be like,
Oh, we did.
Yep. Or the door locks, click, 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 click. Okay.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
Ah,
let's see.
oh,
Look at these. And 15. Let's see.
what's a horse leech? Horse leech.
Does it start in 14?
Um,
Oh, no, yeah. No, I'm looking at 15.
no.
But go ahead. What do you got?
Oh, well, who generation is he talking about? I guess that could
Mm-hmm.
be every generation.
You kind of can. But there's going to be a generation that's worse.
Yeah, their
Okay, this
teeth
is
are like swords.
what's a horse leech?
Yeah, what's a horse leech? Has two
Interesting.
daughters.
Aluka, meaning suck or a leech. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then this three things. 3 are never satisfied. 4 say not enough. The grave. Here again, the grave. You can give me more. Give me more. Right? Before it said the grave and hell are never full.
Right?
Right? The barren womb. Right? The woman who hasn't given birth. Give me a child. Give me a child. Give me a child. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Earth that isn't filled with water. Uh, if you're not from the desert, you'll be amazed to see rain drop water that goes to be feet deep, and it's sucked up within an hour. It's gone.
Until we get too much.
Yeah, but that's still, even then, it diverts down to the riverbeds.
Yep. It goes through all that percolating through the sand and the rock and the. Yep. I think it's getting cleaned up.
Now this one, 18, 3 are too wonderful for me. I have 4 which I know not.
Yeah.
Eagle in the air, a serpent upon a rock, which people go, ooh, serpent. No, if you go watch a snake, and if it doesn't cause you to marvel in our Father's creation,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know that, because it is a marvelous thing.
Yes.
The way of a ship in the midst of the sea, in the way of a man with a maid. Okay, what else do we have in here?
Well, it's interesting they're talking about the things that the earth
Right?
can't bear, and this is talking about people's behavior.
Yeah.
It just brings to mind, that the blood cries out from the earth for justice and judgment.
Yep. Interesting. For an odious when she is married, hateful.
Mhm.
Hateful.
Is that hateful?
Well, it is in English. It's a primitive root, yeah, to hate.
Ah, see?
Yep.
They kept that one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then right after that, an handmaid that's heir to her mistress. Right? A servant that inherits what was.
Does
their bosses. I guess you can look at it like that.
well, does that mean she married the husband?
That's kind of what it sounds like.
Basically, Rob driven out.
Let's see. Handmaid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spread, family, female slave. Heir. Yarash. meaning seize, rob, inherit, impoverish, or ruin. Okay. For the mistress,
Occupy.
which is a mistress. The what?
Occupy.
See, I try to avoid the ones that are in the bold print for the Strongs, because they put those are ones that they try to say, well, this will help you understand it.
Well, that's
But a
not
lot
what
of
mine
times
does.
it goes in a circle to give you the opposite meaning.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah,
like that.
mine just says a primitive root, to occupy.
Right.
Be driving out previous tenants and possessing in their place.
Yeah. So this I found interesting because in 24 it says, right, for little upon the earth, right? But then in 25 it describes ants as people, a people. And the word is people, unit, tribe, troops, attendants, flock. And I just found that interesting, right? And then in 30 or 26, the conies, rabbits, right? Or some type of rabbit family. But what does it call them?
Pirate.
Folk. Yeah, calls them folk, right? People, unit. It's the same word as people. Tribe, attendants, flock. The locusts.
They have no king.
It just kind of is interesting.
We're talking about the ant people, the rabbit people, the locust people, spider people.
So, well, by bands, is that word bands the same word?
Band is chopped into.
A little different. That, blows my mind, though.
It's
my people are going to eat your people. Covered in chocolate. Chocolate covered ants, everybody.
right.
Okay.
Do spiders like chocolate covered ants?
Yeah. Okay. You got anything else for the last of this? I want to know what they translated as greyhound.
Well, 34 was very interesting. I guess, if you're going to be twisting your nose around, it's going to start bleeding. So the forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife. Forcing of wrath. What do you mean, forcing of wrath?
Where is that one again?
It's 33. It's the last one.
Yeah. Forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife. And again, that's bringing us back to current events, I think. I believe. Right? Because it's so backwards and so wrong. And the people that aren't putting our Father first, or the people that don't have our Father, are getting fed up. And I kind of see it like when have you seen a bomb film of a bomb go off in the distance and spread out way far from it, the whole ground just goes boom, and a big cloud of dust rolls up. And in the middle is where the bomb went off, but it has an effect across a great spreading area. I keep seeing it like that in my head. Or, like we mentioned before, if you have done this, I don't know, you young people may not even know how to do this, but when you take one leaf of a newspaper and lay it on top of a fire that's going, and the paper starts changing color, and it turns black, and then it goes smoky, and then it goes poof and bursts into flames, and then it's gone. Something like that is what I see happening soon.
Mm.
And then everybody, in my opinion, is going to say, see how wonderful everything is now because we defeated evil. We, us, praise our leader.
Yeah.
Guess what? Guess who that leader is going to be? One of the 10 kings.
Oh.
I know. Okay, everybody. Thank you, Lynn, for reading
Hey, you're welcome.
and for insights. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We did the spiel at the beginning, so we're just saying goodbye. Hope to see you this weekend. Love you all. We'll talk soon. Bye.